Good morning. It is 6:42, and we love when Ron the Car Guy is here. Okay, everybody knows we love Ron the Car Guy. We love him even more today because he came.
Maybe too much.
He came bearing some incredible news.
Did you bring us breakfast?
No,
Finally?
Better than breakfast.
Oh.
You can't love me that much.
Oh, okay.
The one day out of the week that I actually happened to read the Des Moines
You
Register
learned how to read this morning.
as I was waiting out in the lobby, in today's Register, you can read it. It says, "Great day gains. The race for third place is tight in the morning TV market." And basically, you guys have beat out one of your competitors.
We finally showed up on the radar.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Nice.
But it's a really nice article. People should take time to read
What
it.
page is that in the?
It's in the business section.
Okay.
It's on page. Wow, they have 8 pages in the business section. Anyway,
There's a lot of business going on.
yeah, and I just thought it was cool. I mean, it says KCWI's Great Day Morning Show beat WI, the ABC affiliate.
Wow.
I mean, it's Ted. They even let Ted put a comment in here.
Wow.
Which is kind of cool.
So much for credibility. Yeah.
Nice journalism.
But anyway,
Okay. See, I told you doing that story on the Register would pay off.
Gonna do some more.
Yeah.
But congratulations.
Well, thank you.
And
You're part of it,
well,
Ron. I'm
yeah.
serious. I'm totally serious.
It made me
when I
feel
say you're
good to
part
read
of
that.
it.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's the Tuesday. I mean, if they broke it down by day, I'm sure Tuesday's what
Tuesday's
really
the
pulled
spike.
you.
Oh, they do,
It
yeah.
said, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
no,
right.
here it says. Does it say 6:30 to 7? Okay, so it's right around this time.
6:30. There's a typo in there. It should say 6:30 to 7 on Tuesday.
Okay.
But anyway.
But thank you. No, thank you, folks.
Yeah, we have to
watching.
thank our
Seriously,
viewers,
thank you
and
very much.
we're definitely heading in the right direction, which we really appreciate.
Yeah,
That
I
is
was
very
excited
cool.
when I read that.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, is there a stand somewhere I can get some copies of this? I need to mail some of them.
Oh, I know where I'm mailing some of them too.
I know
got
where
a few people
I'm dropping one off later on this morning.
Turned their
2 of
noses
them,
up
actually.
about a year ago. We're gonna get some copies of that.
Will never last 6 weeks. Is that one of the
that was
comments?
one of them.
Anyway, enough of that.
Moving
thank
on
you.
Yeah, that was
to
cool.
production
Yeah, that was
issues.
That is cool. People want to stay cool in their car, like that.
They do.
transition,
Oh,
that little
yeah,
segue
that's
there. Okay.
that's why you guys are great.
People want to stay
yeah.
cool in their cars, and a lot of people having a hard time now.
Well, I was telling this guy just the other day, I was heading in, I needed
Gern.
this
It's
guy.
Lou.
That's Lou? Thank you.
Yeah, he's on the Great Day Show.
Yeah, here, watch this.
Okay.
Reference to
His
the
name's
radio
actually in the
guy.
article.
Disciple. Okay. I had to buy headlights for my vehicle the other day, and I finally saw that can you're talking about, because when you were talking before how people sometimes use cans to fix their air conditioning,
Sure.
I didn't know what the heck you were talking about, but I finally saw it. But
Did it work?
I didn't need it.
Oh,
but was
okay.
reminded that
She
you
was
said.
huffing it, like the kids do.
But I was reminded that you said don't go that way when it comes to fixing your air
Sure,
conditioner. But you're talking
sure.
about other things like that today, this morning.
We are, and one of the sometimes I get lost in the shuffle, even on car stuff, because there's things that I take for granted that people know, and then people start asking me questions, or they email questions in, and I thought, wow, maybe I should talk about that. And so today I was going to talk about one of the questions I get asked relatively often is on your air conditioning controls. What setting should I use? Certainly a lot of cars today have automatic climate control. You dial down the temperature, you put the knob where it needs to be,
Right.
and you just roll with it. But they still have controls on there. They've got max AC. What's max AC mean?
Right.
Does that mean
And
more?
they've got recirc. The recirculation. What's that mean? When should you use it? So I was going to talk about that a little bit this morning, and. First off, the max AC setting is just what it says. It gives you maximum air conditioning, and we kind of have to go back to how we talked last week of how air conditioning actually works, and it basically takes the heat that's in the air, removes the heat so the air feels cooler. So what happens when you put it on max AC in your car is 2 things. One, it turns the compressor on and it just runs all the time. It don't care what the temperature is inside the car.
Right.
It's not shutting down.
Okay.
And at the same time, it turns the fan on, so it just blows the maximum amount of air out on you. But the other thing that you don't see that it does is it switches inside. And instead of taking air from outside of the car and removing the heat and cooling it down, it utilizes the air that's already inside the car. And the recirculation button is very similar in operation. And the reason they do that is let's say we have outside air that's 90 degrees and we run it through the system and we take say 20 degrees out of there, so it's now 70-degree air. Well, what will happen is when they run it through again, now it's 70-degree air, and they're taking another 10 or 15 degrees out of it, so it gets even cooler by just recycling the air that's inside the car. Okay. And that's what the recirculation option does, as does the Max AC, plus the Max leaves the compressor on. And your climate control won't do that. I mean, if you turn your automatic climate control down, you won't see the lights light up for the Max AC or the recirculation. Oh. So why is that important? Why would you ever want to use that? If you're in a dusty or dirty area, or if you have a lot of allergies and there's pollen and stuff out, if you hit the recirculation button, it won't bring the air in from the outside. It'll utilize what's in the car.
Now, does that go through the filter then too?
Exactly. Yeah, your cabin air filter.
Cabin air filter.
That nobody ever changes.
Right.
But
some vehicles like mine don't have.
That's another episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Has a place for it, but it's not there.
Yeah,
exactly. And then the other thing too is this has probably happened to all of us. You got a humid day, and you run the air conditioner, and your windows kind of fog up inside. It's because it's bringing that humid air in from outside the car. It dries it a little bit, it cools it a little bit, but then you're blowing humidity on the glass. So to put it on the recirculate button again, you're utilizing the air that's already in the car. You're going to dry it out a little quicker, and you won't have that fog on the window.
So you don't want to use recirculate after you've eaten a lot of roughage.
Now, using the Max AC,
that would be a good idea.
When kind of on a cold day, when you should let your car warm up a little bit, should you do that with your AC before you instantly go to Max AC, or does that matter?
No, doesn't matter. I mean, your air conditioning don't care, but that you bring up a great point, Jackie. Especially like the last few days, we're getting 90 degrees outside, and the sun's beating down. I mean, it can be 150 degrees inside your car, and you start it up, you turn the air conditioning on. A great way to get it to cool down faster is for the first block or two that you drive, put the windows down and let the air pull that hot, superheated air out of there, and then put them up, and it'll give the air conditioning a chance, because again, we have to remember the principle of how air conditioning works. It doesn't blow cold air on you, it blows the air that it's removed some of the heat from. So if we can purge that 120 degree air out of there and start out with some 90 degree air, it'll cool down faster.
Now, what about having your air conditioning on when you start the car? I know some people, before they turn the car off, they turn everything off.
And you and I are from old school, because that's what we were supposed to do. Exactly. Right. To today's cars, and when I say today's cars, anything from the 90s up, anything electronically controlled, they've got delays built into the air conditioning. Okay. So when you go to start the car, it's turned off, and then once the car starts and the idle stabilizes, it'll turn it on. And so that really isn't necessary anymore, but I know exactly what you're saying.
So pre-1990-ish?
I would say maybe even pre-1985.
So I should still turn my air off before I start the car. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll have to roll your window down.
And roll your windows down for the first mile or two.
There you go. There you go.
Don't forget to adjust the choke.
Yeah. And then take the vice grips and roll the window back up too. Because who knows?
My car,
who knows where that door handle fell off?
He gets out faster because he has to double clutch between gears.
But this is really cool advice. And again, maybe they do everything they're supposed to do, and the air that is coming out is still warm air coming out. You don't recommend going to the store, like Jackie mentioned, and getting the cans of Freon.
I've never seen that before, but you said don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really a great idea.
Well, you don't know how much you're putting in, and there's some safeguards and a gauge and stuff built on the can, but you don't know how much oil's in the system.
That's the thing that I learned about last time you talked, is about the oil that needs to be put back in to lubricate the system.
Exactly, and if that's not in there and you charge it up full, then in 2 or 3 weeks your compressor fails, and people don't realize that. They think, oh, my air conditioning was low, and I charged it up and it worked for 2 or 3 weeks.
Because it's going to work right then.
And then my compressor failed. Well, you caused it, but people don't realize that. Another thing, as you mentioned, the air's blowing warm and stuff. We had a vehicle in last week, and the gentleman thought that his air conditioning was low on refrigerant because it was blowing warm, when in fact it was one of the doors under the dash.
Yeah,
and it was stuck over on heat. Air conditioning is working fine.
It was just blowing cold air outside.
Yeah, the door was stuck on heat, so it was blowing heater air in the car instead of
wow.
air conditioning. So there would be a case
Simple
you're
fix.
trying to pack more refrigerant back into that vehicle, and that isn't even the problem. So
Yeah, so people need to stop over, make a pit stop at your joint.
absolutely.
How do they do so?
You can contact me, Ron at westsideautopros.com, or you can go to westsideautopros.com and just schedule through our website. There's a locations tab on there.
There's a real cool thing too. If you use the phone app, you can send him a message through the website, and he'll call you.
That's right.
It works.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So don't always go for the quick fix. Sometimes they need to come and
Exactly.
see you to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, and sometimes the quick fix isn't the quick fix you think. It's an easier quick fix.
There you go.
And congratulations
Well,
again.
thanks for the article. That is cool. I had no idea.
I'm glad you learned how to read today. That's awesome.
I had no idea. Thank you so much, and you're
That's
a big part of it.
fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On
You're-
behalf
you're
of everybody
welcome.
here, man.
Thank
Thank
you,
We did it
Ron.
together.
How about that? There you go.
yeah.
You were with us from the very beginning, man.
I was.
From day one.
Yeah,
You were here.
I
What were you
was.
thinking?
Even when this was just a gray painted room, the floor was painted gray.
Nobody else would have
And
me.
you were on board. And you were on board. So we thank you for doing so, buddy.
Who are you, Ron? Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on in, Ron.
We got to kill 10 minutes.
Yeah, welcome
I
to
couldn't
Wayne's
sleep
World.
that morning.
It's 6:53. We'll be back. It's a great day.